relations, increase the efficiency and transparency of the organization. Dear participants of the session, today the COVID-19 pandemic, which became a global disaster, and its not only social and economic but also spiritual and political consequences are in the focus of our attention. We fully support the United Nations approach that ensures equal and fair access to vaccines based on the principle of no one should be left behind. I would like to take this opportunity to express my special gratitude to our foreign partners who have provided us the practical assistance in the framework of the COVAX global platform. We are committed to further strengthening the coordinating role of the World Health Organization in effectively combating pandemic in the international recognition of vaccination results. The Code of Voluntary Commitments of States During Pandemic, developed on the initiative of the Republic of Uzbekistan and distributed as an official document of the UN General Assembly, is our practical contribution in this regard. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the large-scale and rapid democratic reforms that are underway in our country became irreversible in recent years. Ensuring and protecting the human rights, freedoms, and legitimate interests are the basis of our democratic reforms. The strict measures are being taken to ensure the freedom of speech and mass media, freedom of religion and conscience, gender equality, and interethnic harmony. For the first time in its history, Uzbekistan was elected as a member of the United Nations Human Rights Council. We have developed the new Uzbekistan strategy to continue the reform path. The concept of this strategy is to strengthen the role of the civil society institutions, protect human rights, reduce poverty, provide each citizen with a guaranteed source of income, and achieve sustainable environmental development. Our main goal is to become one of the countries with above middle income in terms of the per capita income by 2030. It should be emphasized that this plan is in line with the spirit of the UN Sustainable Development Goals until 2030. In this regard, we propose to hold an international conference in Tashkent, dedicated to studying the problems of global economic recovery, the implementation of the best practices in poverty reduction in the post-pandemic period. It is well known that the World Conference on Involving Youth in Global Action was successfully held in our country. We are going to organize a global educational forum in the framework of a regular dialogue on human rights in the ancient city of Samarkand in Uzbekistan to continue our efforts in this direction. Dear friends, we are consolidating a completely new political environment in the Central Asian region in the spirit of mutual understanding and respect, good neighborliness, and strategic partnership. Our main objective is to make Central Asia a place of prosperity and sustainable development, trust and friendship. To this end, we attach priority to strengthening the interactions with neighboring and adjacent regions. In this regard, we have put forward a proposal to adopt a special resolution of the United Nations General Assembly on strengthening the interconnectivity of Central and South Asia. I would like to underscore once again that Afghanistan is an integral part of Central Asia. It is not only us and the neighboring states, but also the whole world are interested in the establishment of peace and tranquility in this country. Therefore, we are always doing our best to help the Afghan people. We have recently opened the Uzbek-Afghan border and resumed the supply of basic needs and oil products, as well as electricity to this country. During these challenging times, it is impossible to isolate Afghanistan and leave it within the range of its problems. As it is well known, last year, from this high rostrum, we proposed to establish a permanent UN Committee on Afghanistan. The influence and voice of the United Nations on Afghanistan must be heard louder than ever. The growing number of threats and conflicts, transnational threats in the world, requires further strengthening of the international cooperation. The presentation of the results of the 10-year plan of the UN Global Counter-Terrorism Strategy in Central Asia in Tashkent in November this year, and holding an international conference on the prospects will undoubtedly serve these noble purposes. The signing of a regional program for Central Asia for 2022-2025 with the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime will lay a solid foundation for the actions in this direction. As we continue our efforts in this regard, we intend to develop a joint action plan against drugs with the participation of this UN office, covering the countries of Central and South Asia. Dear participants of the session, Uzbekistan pays a special attention to combating the climate change, protecting the environment and biodiversity. This is our noble human duty, not only for today, but also before the future generations. I would like to take this opportunity to express my deep gratitude to all member states for the adoption of a special resolution of the UN General Assembly, declaring the Aral Sea region as a zone of environmental innovation and technology. We are determined to achieve the goals of the Paris Agreement. We are taking concrete steps to move towards the renewable energy sources. In particular, it's envisaged to double the energy efficiency of our economy by 2030, increase the share of renewable energy by 25%, and develop environmentally clean transport. By 2025, it is scheduled to commission the new solar and wind power plants with a total capacity of 2,900 megawatts. In 2022, we intend to hold a high-level international forum in cooperation with the United Nations on Green Energy in the Aral Sea region in the city of Nukus. We support the adoption of the Global Biodiversity Program in the near future. In addition, in the future we stand ready to host one of the meetings of the parties to the Biodiversity Convention in our country. Along with this, we propose to hold the 6th High-Level Assembly under the auspices of the United Nations in 2023 in Uzbekistan for in-depth discussions of the priorities of global environmental policy. The participants of the Assembly will have an opportunity to learn about the difficult situation in the Aral Sea region, which is the center of an ecological disaster caused by the drying up of the Aral Sea, and draw the necessary conclusions.